You see, your face is changing while you sleep. Not over years, not gradually, but tonight, while you are lying there, completely unaware. Now, most of us never think about this. We go to bed, we wake up, we look in the mirror. We see what we see. But something is happening in those 8 hours. Something quiet, something consistent, something that has been going on for a very long time. Now, the surprising question nobody ever asks is why and what is causing this. Think about last night for a moment. You got into bed, you pulled the covers up, your eyes got heavy, your body relaxed, and here is the part nobody pays attention to. Your jaw loosened, your lips parted, maybe just a little. Air started coming in through your mouth. You had no idea, Cashew, you were asleep. Now, this might sound completely ordinary to you, and that is exactly the point. We have all done this. Most of us still do. But your face, the actual structure of it, has been quietly responding, night after night, year after year, without you ever noticing a thing. Now let me explain what is actually going on inside the body. The nose is not just a hole in your face. It is a remarkably sophisticated piece of engineering. Inside the nose, you have these curved shelves of bone called turbinates. Turbinates, think of them as tiny air conditioners. They warm the air before it reaches your lungs. They add moisture to every single breath. They slow the air down just enough for the body to process it properly. The nose also produces something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas, and it opens up the blood vessels in your lungs. Better airflow, better oxygen delivery, every breath. Now, the mouth does none of this, not one bit of it. When you breathe through your mouth at night, you skip the whole system. Dr. Christian Guilleminault at Stanford University looked at what this actually does over time. His 2015 study followed children who were consistent mouth breathers during sleep. Within just 2 years, 2 good years, measurable structural changes appeared in their faces. The midface narrowed. That is the region between your eyes and your upper lip. The palate, the roof of your mouth, became higher and more narrow. Now, why does that happen? Because normally, your tongue rests against the palate when you breathe through your nose. That gentle pressure keeps the palate wide. But when your mouth falls open, the tongue drops down to the floor of the mouth. The pressure disappears, and bone, it turns out, follows force. Without that pressure, the palate begins to narrow inward. The midface follows it. Now here is the part of the story I find genuinely fascinating. Because this was not discovered in a laboratory. It was observed by a painter. In 1870, a man named George Catlin published a small, rather unusual book. Catlin was American. He had spent decades traveling among Native American tribes. He painted their portraits, he recorded their lives, and he noticed something that he simply could not stop thinking about. Mothers, across many different tribes, were doing something very deliberate with their sleeping infants. Every time the baby's mouth fell open during sleep, the mother would gently press the lips closed. Every time, without fail. Catlin asked why. Through translators, across tribe after tribe, the answer was the same. An open mouth during sleep makes a weak face. A closed mouth makes a strong one. He came back to England and published a book about it. He called it Shut Your Mouth and Save Your Life. London's medical establishment had a good laugh. He was a painter, after all, not a doctor, not a scientist. So the book was largely forgotten. George Catlin died in 1872, unrecognized for this particular observation. But here is the thing. 150 years later, orthodontic research confirmed exactly what he described. The tribal mothers were right, the painters were right, and medicine, with all its credentials, took a century and a half to catch up. Now, A lot of people assume the face stops changing in your 20s. Once you are fully grown, that is it. Structure is set. I want to gently correct that assumption. Bone is not stone. It is living tissue. It has cells called osteoblasts that build new material constantly. It has cells called osteoclasts that break old material down. The balance between them is influenced by one thing above all others: mechanical force. Pressure tells bone to stay. Absence of pressure tells bone to go. Now think about the masseter muscle, the large muscle along the side of your jaw. When you sleep with your mouth open, that muscle rests in an altered position. Over years, it changes its resting length. It shortens slightly. Its angle of pull shifts. The lower jaw, the mandible, begins to drift backward and downward, slowly, imperceptibly, a few millimeters per decade. But a few millimeters reshapes a face. The cheeks gradually lose their lateral support. The lines from your nose to the corners of your mouth deepen earlier than they should. Those are the nasolabial folds, and they are not simply a sign of age. They are partly a record of jaw position during sleep. And then there is one more layer on top of all this. Mouth breathing during sleep reduces sleep quality. Reduced sleep quality raises overnight cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Sustained elevated cortisol, over years, breaks down collagen faster than the body can replace it. Collagen is what gives your skin its firmness and volume. When it breaks down faster than it rebuilds, the face loses structure. 4 systems are involved here: muscle, bone, soft tissue, skin. All 4 respond to a mouth that stays open through the night. So let me just say this plainly now, because I think this is something every person deserves to understand. Your face has been shaped, in part, by how you breathe while you sleep, not just by genetics, not just by the passage of time, by a nightly mechanical process that has been running quietly in the background for years, possibly decades. Your jaw position reflects the muscle tension of thousands of nights. Your palate carries the record of where your tongue rested while you were unconscious. The collagen in caries. Your skin has been affected by the cortisol that poor sleep produced. This is documented. It is measurable. Orthodontic records show it. Bone density studies confirm it. Sleep laboratories have tracked it. The face in your mirror is, partly, a breathing diary. Every night added a small entry. Every night from this point forward will add another. The direction of that entry is not fixed. The body responds to what it is consistently given. It always has. It still will. So what do you actually do with this information? Well, start tonight. Pay attention to how you go to sleep. Is your mouth closed? Is your nose clear? Because tonight, those hours you spend unconscious, your jaw will hold a position. Your tongue will rest somewhere. Your palate will receive pressure, or it will not. Now, I am not suggesting anything drastic here. There are simple, well-supported approaches worth knowing about. Myofunctional therapy involves gentle exercises that retrain tongue and lip posture. Results have been measured in adults, not just children. Nasal dilators can help if congestion is part of the problem. Sleeping position matters more than most people realize. The body does not require youth to respond. It requires consistency. What you give it each night, it will remember. You know, I keep coming back to George Catlin, a painter sitting by a fire, watching a mother press her baby's lips together in the dark. He saw something that took organized medicine a century and a half to confirm. The body keeps a record of everything we do to it, every breath, every night, every year. Your face is that record. And the remarkable thing, the genuinely remarkable thing, is that the record is still being written. Your face remembers every night. So, that is all for today. My name is Professor William Hartley, and this is the Body Projector.